Hi, as today is World Storytelling Day, our beloved and benevolent Baroness Anne has asked me to record a quick story for all of you. So, my name is Jadwiga, and the story I'm going to tell you today is, well, I know it is Shivers. I believe it's a Brother Grimm story. Just a little caveat, I tend to tell stories, not period-esque stories, not in the original wording and format as the stories were originally told or written down, but in a format that I think will appeal to modern audiences because I'm trying to achieve the same impact and reaction, if not complete accuracy. So if you've met me and you've seen me perform before, you've probably heard this story before because I like it quite a bit. So the story basically goes, there is a farmer, businessman, he has money and wealth, but he's not Bill Gates, but he's not incredibly destitute. So he's got 3 sons, and so his first son is going to inherit the business. No two ways about it. Second son's going to join the priesthood, that's all fine. Third son, bit of an idiot, has no idea what he wants to do with his life. Father's a bit concerned because he wants his son to do well. And so one day he goes, okay, well I need to find something for my son to do. I need to get him a craft. I need to get him a job. I need to find something that he can achieve with his life. And so he goes to his son and he goes, hey, what do you actually want to do with your life? What's your end goal? And he goes, well, I've been thinking about it. And what I'd really like, what would really be good, is if I could finally feel the shivers, if I could finally be afraid. And the dad's like, well, okay, that's really, that's not a job, right? Like, you can't actually, there's no career progression in that. You're not gonna, okay, fine, I'll see what I can do. And so that night, he goes to the local priest, and he goes, hey, my son, my third son. And the priest goes, yes, I don't like where this conversation is going, but what about him? And he goes, well, I talked to him today about what he wants to do with his life. And, as you know, bit of an idiot, he told me that his life goal is to find the shivers, to get scared, whatever that means. And the priest goes, oh, okay, cool. So what we're going to do is I'll give him a job in my church as a handyman, dog's body. And tonight, I will scare the pants off him. I will scare him so thoroughly that he will achieve his life goal and then be able to move on and have a proper job and a proper life. And Father goes, fantastic, excellent, amazing. All right, I'll send him over. And so he goes and he talks to his son and goes, all right, I've got you a job. Don't mess it up. I need you to do your absolute best here. Don't let me down. And the son, he's a bit of an idiot, but he's a good guy. So he goes, okay, Dad, I'll do my best. And so he goes to the priest, and he's like, hey, you have a job for me. What do you want me to do? And he's like, well, we need you to do, some cleaning, some repair work, normal kind of stuff. But also, you see this church tower here with its church bell. No one's allowed to go up in it. Absolutely no one. It's forbidden. It's dangerous. All the floorboards are loose. If you go up, it's really, really bad. If anyone goes up there, you have to stop them and tell me. No one should be up there. And he goes, okay, cool, I'll keep people off the clock tower. No problem, perfect. And then that night, the priest, who, by the way, is not particularly spry, he's getting on in years. He goes up into the top of the clock tower, dressed up in his creepiest clothing, which presumably isn't actually that creepy, it's probably just white robes, and puts on a weird mask. And he goes up to the very top and starts making weird noises and a big racket and everything. And so the farmer's son hears this and goes, no, absolutely not. No one's allowed to be up there. I'm going to go and stop them because I'm going to do my best at my job. And so he goes up to the clock tower, and the priest is just standing there trying to be really creepy to try and freak this guy out. And the third son is literally too stupid to be scared. So he goes to the priest. He doesn't know he's the priest. He just thinks he's an intruder. He goes, "Hey, you're not allowed up here. You need to leave right now." And the priest doesn't say anything because he's going to be a creepy ghost. And then he goes, "If you don't leave right now, I'm going to throw you out. You're not allowed up here." And the priest doesn't say anything because he's a creepy ghost. And he thinks, "There's no way he's going to actually throw me down stairs. Like, I'm a creepy ghost. You're not going to touch me. You're going to leave." Yeah, he absolutely gets thrown down the stairs. And he's fine. It's fine. He gets some bumps and some scratches and a little bit of a sprained wrist. And the next day, the priest goes to the father and goes, "No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I did my best to freak him out, but he threw me down a flight of stairs, and I don't really feel comfortable in this work arrangement anymore." And the father goes, "Okay, fair enough. I know what to do now." And so he goes to his son, and he goes, "I'm sorry." Sorry. So he goes to his son, and he goes, "Okay, well, we tried it out with a priest, and honestly, that was enough for me. I'm not trying anymore. You need to go and find your own destiny." And his son goes, "Okay, cool." And he packs up his normal, sort of traditional rucksack of cheese and bread and fruit and whatever else one needs when one goes out to find one's fortune. And he goes out into the road, and he comes upon this inn. And he goes, "Hey, do you have a room?" And they go, "Well..." He's like, "Do you have a room or do you not have a room?" And they're like, "Well, we do. But we've actually recently moved premises. So this is the new, improved inn. We have beautiful new rooms, and each with their own bidet, and it's just amazing. It's just the best inn ever." And he's like, "Okay, well, why did you move though? Like, it looks like across the road is a perfectly good inn." And they were like, "Oh, right, it's just super haunted. It's just so haunted." And he was like, "Oh, okay, but like, can I stay there? There's like a discount if I stay in the haunted hotel rather than the not haunted hotel?" And they go, "Well, you might die." He's like, "Yeah, but I might not." So they go, "Okay, well, we actually do have a reward on this hotel, on this inn, that if you happen to survive a whole night at the haunted inn, we'll give you a bunch of money if you like unhaunt it first." And he goes, "Okay, well, that makes sense. That's fine. All I have to do is sleep in a room for a night. I can do that. I've been doing that all my life. It's really easy." And so he goes to the really haunted inn just across the road, and he settles in, and he goes, "Well, I mean, it's a bit gross. Hasn't been cleaned in a while. There's like refuse and stuff around and like garbage, but it's not like terrible." So he cleans his out of space and starts to go to bed. And then like at the exactly at midnight, right? All of these ghosts and specters and ghouls and stuff wake up, and they're like, "Oh, gross, there's this guy in our house. We're gonna have to like take care of this. I thought we'd already handled this. This is the worst." So they try trying to freak him out. And like they're doing all kinds of really weird, gross stuff. Like they're doing like, it's like croquet, but it's with like their bones and their heads and stuff, and they're making the walls leak random fluids. Like, it's not a good time. Like, it's actually genuinely really creepy. But he just gets really annoyed because he was trying to have a good night's sleep. It's the first night that he's going to be out, like, in the world. He's trying to make his place in the world to impress his dad, and these ghosts are just not helping at all. So he just gets really mad at them and just absolutely just reams them out and goes, "This is absolutely unacceptable. I'm trying to go to sleep. I have a big day tomorrow." And he's just so unaffected by these terrifying, scary, dangerous ghosts. So they go, "Okay, well, if he's this unperturbed by our behavior, he's clearly a very serious, very dangerous man." And so we just stop. And he goes back to sleep, and it's fine. And so he goes to the now equally unhaunted hotel, and goes, "Hey, well, there were some ghosts, but I told them to go away, and they stopped doing ghost things." And the people at the hotel go, "Okay, that's weird. but okay, have some money. And then in the nature of these kinds of stories, there's a series of incidents where he goes someplace and there are ghosts or specters or something very scary and he's not scared, and then the problem goes away, and then word fame builds and builds and builds and builds to the point where the king of the entire kingdom hears about his exploits, and he goes, oh, all right, well, I have that one castle, like my summer castle that I haven't been able to use in like 10 years because it's real haunted, and it would be so good if I was able to experience it again. But also, like, real haunted. Also, sorry about that. My battery just went down to 20%. So he sends a missive out to this fellow and goes, hey, do you want to, like, unhaunt this castle for me? And if you do, you can get the hand for my daughter. And because this is a fairy tale and it's in the past, everyone is somehow cool with the idea of trading your daughter for a castle. And he goes, all right, fine. I would like a wife. That sounds like a good idea. Absolutely. And so it's basically the exact same situation as with the inn beforehand. He goes, there are a bunch of ghosts, he's unperturbed, he gets unhaunted. But he's still unfulfilled. His life goal has still been unfulfilled. So one night, he's with his wife, they're in their marriage bed, and he goes, oh, my life just hasn't turned out how I wanted it to be. And she's like, okay, you're married to royalty now. Eventually at one point you will become king, probably, but it seems like you're really, like, focusing on the negative parts of your life. What's wrong? What do you want to achieve? And he goes, well, just once in my life, I really want to achieve shivers. I really just want to feel fear for once in my life. And she goes, oh, no, I've got this. Like, hold your horses. I've got this. And so she leaves. She's gone for, like, a weirdly long period of time. Like, not like 4 hours, but not like 15 minutes. Like, an hour and a bit. Like, long enough that he's getting really confused. And eventually she comes back, and she has this big bucket, and she goes, get back into bed. Lie down. And he's like, okay, this is weird, but I trust you, so okay. And close your eyes. So he closes his eyes. And then she pours this whole bucket of, like, cold water full of tiny, tiny fishes all over him. And he starts shivering uncontrollably. And he goes, oh, finally, I felt the shivers. So it's kind of one of those interesting endings where you're like, oh, well, it's technically what he wanted, but also, like, it's kind of the letter of the law rather than the spirit of the law. But I just really like that story because it's really flexible. Because as long as you have the correct, as far as I'm, in my opinion, as long as you have the correct beats in the more or less the correct order, and you get some of the beginning things right and the ending correct, it kind of just works. So yeah. That was my story for World Storytelling Day. Thank you.